Hello and welcome back to Roslyn. If you're watching on YouTube, this should be episode 36. Really, it's part 2 of episode 35 in a lot of ways, but this is the way things work out sometimes, and that's okay. So today, we're gonna take a look at this mining expansion I did last episode. I think I may want to actually pull a little bit of this back, just because, like, what's the issue here? Not enough buyers for products, so I'm actually just going to turn some of these off, I think, especially the far ones here. Honestly, I may even just pull a couple of these out wholesale. You can see we've got no industrial demand right now, so these have filled up down here. These are still missing a lot of workers. So, I need to free up some space in here, obviously. And this is going to take a while to empty out yet, isn't it? We might go ahead and speed things up and just see if we can't get that out of our way. I'm okay with leaving one cemetery back here. We want to see where else we could put one of these, I think. And I do want to kind of spread these out. Originally, I really liked the idea of sort of having one big cemetery in a sort of like really central place, because you see that a lot in cities of all kinds of sizes, and I think it's a really cool way to handle that kind of use, and they can really become these incredible landmarks. If you've ever been in a city that sort of has a famous cemetery, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's difficult to simulate. I know there are some really cool like modular cemeteries I think out there on um, PC, but of course this is a console build. So okay, then we can stop emptying this out. Oh my gosh, where are you guys coming from? You're coming from this train terminal to import stuff over there, huh? I don't like that at all. Why is this importing at all? Okay, hopefully this will start to sort itself out. Again, I think last episode I just got a little... I don't know what was going on with me, honestly. I was just kind of in a zone. It was a Saturday night. It was a long day. It was a weird day. I don't really need to make excuses, but I am, so, here we are. Anyway. In fact, could we just bring this over here? Yeah, why don't we do that? And then we could even do one more glass plant back in here, I think, right? Where's that? Huh. Oh, there's some new stuff here. The rotary kiln plant that makes metals. Looking a little rough. I don't suppose. What can we really do here? Just kind of back all that out. Okay. Create some sort of cliffs there. I'm okay with that, I think. Might even try to just slide this over one more. And then we'll just come through with one of our favorite fences here. In fact, what if we even just get a little fancier with it, right? Just because I think we can. Yeah! That's how it's done. And we'll even just make this a little loop. Because what I really want to do here is come in and get serious about this school, first of all. and kind of expand the campus here. We'll put some fences up. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Do want to bring a path. Just want to come like nice and gentle. So then I want to come through, and I think we'll do tree-lined streets back through here, because why not? I think this will be sort of park space back here. It's very out of the way. But it's also, you know, a lot of this is close to the highway, so that's sort of the balancing act here. Because if we look at our other high schools, right? So here's Roslyn High, where we've got about 1,000 kids again. It's got 2 tennis courts. It's got a sports hall and gymnasium. It's got its own pool. There's a lot going on this campus, right? If we look at Eureka High, which is right here, obviously, it's also got its own gym, its own pool. There's an elementary right there, 3 tennis courts, even more than Roslyn High, as you might expect in the fancy neighborhood. And I think that we've got one more out here that's sort of a work in progress, but even this has tennis courts, gym, etc., right? So I think we want to work, obviously, at least a gym into the build. I think that's like, you know, where you would see the kids playing basketball, doing whatever kind of sports they might do. The thing here is that there's going to be some trickiness to getting the terrain to do the right thing. See, that is like popping through the back of our cemetery right now. It's obviously why we would like to get rid of the cemetery, in part. But yeah, because that is a tough spot to try to put something like that in. We could potentially say the campus is going to expand down here, and that is much more agreeable terrain-wise. We'll say that is where that goes. We will go ahead and extend this road up here. And why don't we even just come up like that? Just making a little more connectivity through here. I think we'll want a couple of tennis courts out here, of course. And why don't I even take a look and see if I can do, because I think they're like 5 deep. So if we do this, we'll just create a nice little sports complex back here. How's this gonna look? Not too bad, actually. We can do that. And then we can still, I think, throw a path through right here. Okay, and then I'll just pull those over. And the reason I did that is so that we can create one more crossing, I think, back through here. Oh, I guess maybe there was already one for that. Whatever. Go. And so we'll just continue to wait for this to clear out here. These just take forever, don't they? In the meantime, I want to take a look here. So West Roslyn High, obviously like right there. I guess we can leave that for now, because what we're going to do is come up through here. We're going to create our new neighborhood. Mountain shadow. I think it sounds kind of fancy, and I think I'm looking for that up here. So then I want to come through, and I actually want to look at, yeah, we're gonna go with Mid-Century Modern through here. I want this to feel like kind of a fancy neighborhood, so I'm gonna use these houses to see what kind of look we can create here. And let me just check my water before I do anything. Go ahead and bring this up here. Try to keep this somewhat under the roads here at least. There we go. You know, I think you would need some kind of selling point to get people to move in right this close to the highway, I guess is sort of my feeling about it. Okay, stuff's starting to pop in here, and that looks pretty trash, pretty bad. How severe is... Yikes, okay. So I want these lots to feel a little bigger than they do like this. Okay, power still jumped. And if we do that, yep. Alright, let me just do a quick check in here because I can see some other issues are starting to arise. So we need to empty out a couple of these. Empty this out. And I'm really starting to run out of oil over here. That'll happen when you're running at 3 speed. So really the big option here would be to start to develop the oil over there, because this is running out of paper. It seems like we are just not quite getting enough paper. Let's go ahead and we'll set that to balance and see if that gets some more paper out the door. Okay. Where was I? So I want to go ahead and turn this into a little bit of a park here. fact, we can even do it proper. Oh my. Okay. Could be worse. We'll call this Mountain Shadow Cemetery. We'll say that that's where the name comes from for the whole, community here. Just expand this park area just a little bit. We'll just pull in all this little area right here. The campus, which should be its own little district zone kind of thing here. So this will be West Roslyn High. And we'll figure out how to stick a parking lot in there, hopefully once we get that cleared out. I want to see how this looks right here. Yeah, I've seen worse. There we go, we can even just back that down a little bit there. There we go, just smooth things out just a touch. How far down? We can bring a lot of this down, I guess. Because what I want to do right here now, since we've got our special cemetery, I've been saving this for a minute. Oh, except I already have it in somewhere else? Oh yeah, okay, so this was gonna be, I wanted to do like a big custom cemetery over here, but it just doesn't make sense. So what I want to do is just bring this right here. And then I'll just come in around this one time. We're gonna start all the way back there. There we go. Okay, I mean, how's that for like seclusion? I mean, sure, the highway's right here, but it's not really a busy one at this point, really. Ooh, I like some of these down here. Okay, let's go ahead and add in. How bad does that look? Not too bad, actually. Maybe a big one down here. That'll work. That'll give us an excuse to connect up right here. And right here. See if we can't just give the kiddos a little bit of level ground to play on there. I think that'll work. Just kind of create some level lots here. Just go ahead and back all that cliff up to the wall there. So just gonna try and create some logical yards here, I'm hoping. That these fences will sort of be in places that make sense, that sort of feel like boundaries, while at the same time giving these folks a little bit of space from each other, potentially. Okay, again, some nice big yards there. And I was scheming on a dog park out here for sure. So I'm just gonna go through here and sort of place a little bit of everything from vanilla and content creators packs here. Just trying to create a little bit of variety. Of course, like we would also expect some stuff to kind of come up in groups. I like to really do that with this, for example. Really kind of fit it in around some of the tropical trees or even the non-tropical trees in really interesting ways. And it just adds like a nice pop of color to the long grass. Of course, we can also bring these big bushes in like this. And then the plan then is just to come in with more of this long grass. But basically what we're saying is that nobody has taken it upon themselves to mow this. You know, I'd say this is very likely like a neighborhood that's been developed by a developer. That's why you see like similar architecture throughout here. So they might have worked out with the city, you know, here's where you need to put some parks in. I'll be honest, I'm not the expert on the political part of that. Of course, if you want that sort of like insider knowledge, City Planner Plays is the best place to get it in terms of how something like this might actually come together from a residential development standpoint. I've worked in places like this, just like yard work kind of stuff. You know, you might see like a bunch of fancy homes with big lots that all sort of have very unique geography to them. They're like very interesting places to look out your window and see. It's not just a little square patch of yard. But if you can afford to live in a place like this, you know, it's really nice. You can create some seclusion. Obviously, the places I worked weren't this close to a highway, but they weren't that far from one either, to be honest with you. And doing this sort of dense overgrown landscaping creates a big sense of separation. You know, you can be really creative in sort of how you orient things to make something that feels really that is really close feel really far away. Like you can't get from this highway into this neighborhood super easily, so that helps it feel more secluded. The tricky thing with city skylines in trying to make any sort of like enclave neighborhood, because I think that's sort of what this um, is just that, you know, you have to get kind of creative. If I would have to get kind of creative if I wanted this neighborhood to actually have higher property values than a lot of the rest of the city, for example. You know, and that's a factor of the game more than anything else. It is just not easy. You know, the game rewards you for well thought out, like dense urban design, in terms of like the levels of things, and you know, then obviously the tax revenue you generate off of those. That is all tied up in, you know, the land value mechanics, which you kind of have to decide like, okay, I'm going to put in a ton of parks out here. Maybe I think, you know, the pedestrian setup now could potentially be really useful because that has a big effect on land value. So you could very strategically use that in a sort of neighborhood like this to give it that, you know, reflective, like a land value mechanically in the game, reflective of sort of what you're trying to play it as. That said, you know, I think it kind of just depends on how far you want to go with it. Do you want it to just look nice? Do you want it to actually be like a, you know, a high value real estate within the mechanics of the game? You don't necessarily need it to be, just to have it look nice. And you know, I think the game has, despite all of its sort of the limitations of the political imagination of City Skylines, it's just kind of funny, I guess, that the real estate system sort of works the way it does. So, anyway, I'm rambling. We're just trying to kill time, keep you entertained while I continue to do the most intense landscaping job I possibly can back here. Yeah, and see, so you can hear that highway noise. That is why this would be so important here. Let's see, maybe we should look for a spot for a little bit of commercial back through here. So I think this is primo right here. Do a couple of little playgrounds back through here. Give the kiddos somewhere to hang out. The nice thing about doing these big yards, obviously, these people can let things go and even get a little more privacy from their neighbors, right? Mix in a couple of these different ground covers here. Why not even put a tree back in there? If this is emptied out yet, and this isn't even close, and we've been running this for a while. So it's okay. Let's see how many people we got living up here. It's only like 160 people. Things are going to stay low level until we get the education. Where is the closest elementary, I wonder? There's a couple. There's one in Eureka. The one downtown, one in Grove and Valley. I guess right next to the big playground does make sense, huh? I think I actually might move a couple things around here. There we go. I think that makes a little more sense. And I'm not really sure what to do with the end of it up there. I might just leave it for now. Hey, it's me. So after I finished shooting the video where I made this whole new neighborhood here, I was continuing to just fill in through here with my landscaping, and I really was inspired to build a really nice park down here at the end of this neighborhood. Pretty basic here. I can show you the components just in case you're curious. This is the nature reserve main gate. Even though I wouldn't really call this a nature reserve, a dirt lot felt a lot more appropriate out here than the paved one that comes with the city park. Park restrooms number 1, just very basic. That actually is a city park asset. You can see I've got a couple of things out here. A food truck. This is actually from the Plazas and Promenades downloadable content pack. A balloon stand, cotton candy cart. Those are amusement park things. This is a big recycling thing from Plazas and Promenades pack. And then I just used the nature reserve trails, which are self-leveling through here. They have these nice rocks on them, plus kind of the mile markers. It's a pretty nice look. Obviously I added a bunch of trees, landscaping, the long grass through here. But I thought this would really, like, what I would love this for is as a jogging loop. If I was going to live in this neighborhood back here, this would be a huge selling point for me. Nice dirt trails that's really easy on your knees. And I think this would be a really beautiful place to come for a run. You have the trains going by, you know, a little bit of traffic noise maybe, but with something to do with this tiny little sliver of land because nothing else really made sense back here. And then to create a sort of rock retaining wall here, I just came through in landscaping with like the smallest rocks you can get in here and kind of just stack them in as close as I could to each other. Then just a mix of benches and picnic tables, a lot of the content creator pack trees, and I think it feels really nice here now. Okay. Well, you know, doing the Midcentury Modern with the oak trees on the road was not a good choice for aerial curb appeal, but I am pretty happy with how this neighborhood has come together. I think obviously the one more place that we would expect to see Phil would be right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and just get down here in the yard and see how it looks. I think this is pretty nice. Would you like to live here? I'd like to live here, I think. There's a bunch of tourists up here. This must be all Airbnbs, but these assets are pretty cute. Yeah, you can see yourself headed down the sidewalk here. I mean, it'd be a long walk into anything. Obviously, very car-dependent neighborhood out here. I wonder what you can see from the other side. Oh, I mean, that's pretty cool. Just catching glimpses of the city. I think the train tracks there, and even... Is that City Hall? Tough to tell what exactly is going on down there. Oh, but look, you can see the Workers' Square statue. Oh my gosh. You can see some of the park equipment I put in the backyards here. Those will help boost land value for those folks. Yeah, oh, there's the train station. That's what I was looking for. Let's see who's living up here, huh? So... Oh, an attendant at City Hall. Interesting. Must be somebody's kid. You know how that goes. Alright, well there's obviously still a lot we could do here, especially in terms of detailing, but I think this was a pretty good little build here. Not much in the way of population added or anything like that. You know, labor intensive, but I think it's, you know, that's okay sometimes. Sometimes you need a city, um, you need a neighborhood to have a little more character than some of these other ones, and the only way to do that sometimes is with landscaping and a theme and all kinds of custom little touches like that. So thanks for tuning in. Check out the rest of the series on YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. Stay tuned because there'll be more to come.